Overthinkers of Reddit. What was it today? I've really been thinking of how many moments of my life I forget, even though I don't want to. All those fun and important memories that I've had at the time that I'll never know I had. Good to hear I am not the only one. This has helped me. Maybe it will you too. Try writing things down. Keep a pen and diary with you for especially that purpose. I 3 days ago found my diary of when I was 8 years old. As I started reading it, I was like, there's a shitload of things I forgot, or try documenting it. I don't have the energy to do anything today, so I've been feeling guilty of that, because obviously I'm wasting away my whole life when I spent an hour laying on the bed watching YouTube videos. Oh, and I spent the entire morning cleaning my home because my parents visited for an hour. You cleaned your home. You did many things. This morning my perfectly healthy dog was struggling to get out of bed, doing that thing that dogs with non-working back legs do. My brain went into overdrive. Is this it? Cancer? Am I gonna lose my first ever dog? Turns out her leg had fallen asleep. The little turd is totally fine. I have to remind myself often that pets can have minor aches, pains from non-chronic conditions that go away on their own pretty quickly, just like we do. Doesn't stop me from freaking out every time my cat barfs. I'm going to swing by a wake. Husband of a new girl at work died suddenly. I barely know her, and I didn't know him, but it's incredibly sad and I wanted to go just to show some support. And I've been struggling with what I should wear. It's freaking stupid because it doesn't matter much what I wear. I think it's partly that I just hate going to wakes, and I've had to do it like 6 times in the past year. I used to work at a men's store where I served a few funeral directors. The general approach was to shy away from any details like pick stitching on the lapel, cuffs on the pants, or anything too form-fitting. Patterned fabric was out completely. They would dress as forgetably as possible. If my luggage will be within my allocated weight limit, despite weighing it twice and having 3 kilograms allowance, for a trip that is in 2 weeks. Yup, this is me. I will start packing days before and plan it all out and then worry that I'm prioritizing the wrong items. I overanalyze most interactions and feel weird most of the time. So really, what wasn't it today is a better question. I'm in the tub worrying about everything. How do I reply to this question? Is this good enough? Funny enough? Truthful enough? Original enough? Too long? Too short? Did I make any spelling mistakes? Punctuation? One space between sentences or two? Did anyone else make the same comment? Or something like this already? Maybe I should just upvote and move on. Who would want to read this anyways? Good thing I scrolled through the thread and saw someone else already replied what I wanted to, so I won't get mocked for being unoriginal or a copycat. Deep vein thrombosis. The idea that if you sit for too long a weird blood thing develops and you stand up and it goes to your head and you straight up die? No thanks. Am I at risk at all? Number. Does that stop me from panicking whenever my leg aches slightly? Also no. If it's any comfort at all, my mom had it in her arm. Super rare. She went to the doctor because she had a big bruise in the shape of a band around her arm. It was there for several days before she reported it. So 1. She had a visual warning, and 2. It was there for days before anything happened. I was a B to somebody yesterday and I did not mean to be, but it happened and I can't really take it back, and it changed how they see me, and other people were there and it changed how they see me too, and now I am trying to decide if I feel worse about being a B or about people thinking that I am a B. A simple hey, I just wanted to apologize for the way I acted yesterday goes a long way. I overthought texting my landlord to ask about his pet policy for months because I got it in my head that he might feel I'm trying to force him into letting me bring a pet in. He's a super nice guy. Anyway, I finally just bit the bullet and texted him. He said he's 100% fine with a cat, as long as he can come meet the guy since he loves them. And I've been wanting a cat, so it works out perfectly, and I could have stopped stressing months ago. In the span of a few hours after talking to my landlord, I have found a cute little black and white kitten and have him reserved to come home with me. That's an amazing story. Hope you have the best of times with your new friend. Had a friend over for dinner the other night and I cannot stop obsessing about how I put too much pasta in the stroganoff and threw off the overall pasta to sauce ratio. Everything was delicious and nobody likely noticed that I meant to withhold 1/4 of the box but me. It's been 2 days, I need to let it go and stop composing my apology email. It's okay. All that delicious stroganoff is already poop now. Don't get so worked up over poop. I've been overthinking that my friends freaking hate me and how I'm really annoying and whatnot, and then I wanted to reach out and be like, hi, have I been annoying or anything recently, but I'm instead overthinking that and at how that'll just be annoying and make me sound clingy as frick. My cycle. 1. Meet friends. 2. Get close to friends. 3. Think I'm too clingy and stop messaging for a while. 4. Friends think I moved on. 5. I ruin everything we had. What if when I fell back asleep I just suddenly died? What if this stuff I am standing over falls on me and kills me? The constant overbearing fear of death usually ties nastily with my overthinking. Yup, and what's even scary is that you won't know when. It could be anytime. How can this be? Why is it if someone says that guy doesn't know jack crap about it, or if they say that guy knows jack crap about it, they've said the same thing? The guy who knows jack crap thinks he knows about it while the guy who doesn't know jack crap is aware that he doesn't know about it. I found out recently that my wife is pregnant with a little girl. Since then, my thoughts have been consumed with ideas about child rearing. OMG, how are we going to make sure she acquires language? OMG, how are we going to child-proof the house? OMG, how are we going to make sure she goes into a long-term viable career field? If you talk to her like a whole lot, you'll definitely accomplish having her acquire language. If I have a heart attack at work, how long will it be until someone finds me? Who will pay my bills? Will my wife and kids be okay? Who will pay their bills? Will anyone come to my funeral? Will there even be a funeral? I hate it here. My ex and my son. How are they? Is she working? Is he healthy? Is her husband working? Are they enjoying life? She has a terminal illness. It's unlikely that she'll live to see her 50s. How far has that progressed? What happens when she dies? If she dies before me, is her husband still an alcoholic? Is this savings account going to be big enough necessary for my son when he's ready to take his first steps into the adult world? Will he even know my name? I bought a chocolate bar at the shop last night. Found it was sliced open, so I had to return it. Had to play through the discussion. Then, disaster. It got melted on the way back. Shopkeeper was convinced that the open pack was due to heat. Changed the entire discussion. He swapped it for a good one. I woke up before everyone else in my house today. First crippling thought, so much clutter. I really should reorganize the bookshelf. Second crippling thought, I still can't stop thinking about this one. The ice maker overfilling. Third crippling thought, the bottle of water on the edge of the table is too close to the edge. OCD is a B. Received the first of my COVID jabs. No anxiety at all beforehand, but having read the accompanying leaflet detailing possible side effects, am now vacillating between overanalyzing every single thing my body is or isn't doing and reminding myself that actually all is well. Saw a guy at the supermarket and he looked extremely familiar. Spent 2 to 5 minutes staring into the void, aka the kinda surprise stand, while trying to figure out where I could have met him before and how different genes combinations may result in the expression of a same phenotype. I went to my former co-worker's parents' house to watch the dogs, cat and horses like I've done at least 5x, and it makes me paranoid because sometimes I watch the brother's dog and cat and sometimes I don't. I just don't want the dog to starve. The cat is outside. I always have to clarify and I feel like they think I'm dumb, but look, I just want to make sure. Also, this time there were no written directions specifically for me and new meds and only one type of hay for the horses. I am anxious about asking for clarification even though I just want the animals to get properly fed and medicated. It's dumb. It is reasonable to want to be certain of the totality of all animals to be cared for, and it is silly for them to just assume you would somehow know when the number changes. Good for you for being thorough. Same old. Parenting. Did I give all 3 fair attention today? Was I too grumpy? Am I doing enough? Are they going to grow up and be happy? As a former child, I can say you will never give equal attention, and the phrase "this is a boring argument" comes in handy. That's the way it is a bull's concept. It implies that things have reached a steady state. Things have become stable, and it's going to stay that way. Not true. The natural state of the universe is not stability. Nothing would exist if the universe was completely stable. The heat death of the universe isn't going to come about because everything is going to stay the same. Everything has to change to reach that ultimate state of equilibrium. Constant change. Constant flux. We marvel at kings who ruled for a long time. Because stability is fleeting. It's hard to keep control of things for so long because change keeps happening. Change is the natural state of the universe. Culture, technology, evolution, all just a series of responses to the inevitably changing universe. I think that statement is less about the permanence of things and more about the acceptance of the current state of things. Change is constant, but living in the moment is all we can do. Once we accept the reality of the state of things, then we can make plans to change that, or accept that the only thing we can change is our own outlook of things and base actions upon that. My boyfriend literally told me he wants to marry me. My thoughts. Maybe he feels rushed into it. Have I talked so much about marriage that he feels obligated to propose? Does he really love me? And mostly, why would anybody want to marry me? 24 years of married life, and my husband will ask me daily or multiple times a day, "Do you love me? Why do you love me? Would you marry me again?" So the answer for you is, yes, your boyfriend loves you. He wants to marry you. You are the person he has chosen and wants to be with forever. Wife and I want a second child. Wife currently accounts for 50% of household income but wants to switch to stay at home until kids are at least in middle school. Our rate of savings is only about 30% and our roof vac windows are all over 20 years old. I agree. Somewhere between kid 2 and kid 3 it becomes cost effective for one parent to stay home. When you are living out what will become a memory, it seems so clear at first and so unreal, and then you start forgetting the thing that you experienced. How could you forget part of your life? And 2. Capital E. 1. Be in the present. My guy, the future makes you anxious. The past makes you depressed. But the present is what gives life meaning. 2. Capital E. Went on the first date with a longtime friend, both admitted the connection and attraction, and now here I am again overthinking. Was he genuine about his feelings? What if I did something on the date and he's no longer interested? It's been a week and I'm microanalyzing every little moment or conversation between us. My girlfriend's friend asked her to go swimming with him, and while I trust them, they've been friends for a while. I can't help but be super uncomfortable about the situation because of my past experiences getting screwed over by women. I'm uncomfortable with them hanging out in general, but an activity where they both have to get at least half naked just makes it even worse. I know it's not like that, but I just can't get those thoughts out of my head. The what ifs. It makes me want to puke. Not a big deal at all compared to a lot of what others have said in this thread, but it's still weighing on me. Why can't I just be normal and accept that my girlfriend has friends and is going to want to hang out with them? Why can't I stop being so possessive? I know the way I feel isn't right, but I just can't help it. I've had these thought patterns seared into my mind over the course of years. I know no one cares really, but I had to get this off my chest. Thanks for reading if you made it this far. I worry about making mistakes at work and how it'll be the worst thing ever and it'll frick everything up. So I usually end up asking my co-workers too many questions. Need to learn to make my own decisions and buckle up for the outcome. Today, it's still the guy who ghosted me 2 days ago, and how he managed to make me feel completely safe with him, while most guys can't show interest without scaring me off. It's interesting how that works, and I'm not sure myself what I react to and not, as much of it is quite subtle. I spent the last couple of days examining every word said to me against my known faults, and convinced myself I'm loathed where I'm hopefully liked. Silence can be deadly. YTF is so hard for me to talk to this one specific girl, and like when I finally had something to talk to her about, my mind went blank and I think I made her more worried about her test than I wanted to. But like, It's not hard to talk. I do it every day. Sometimes I don't even need anything to talk about. I just do a face and make the other person laugh and they do a face. But then hair. I am literally just stuck thinking WTF do I say, and like it's not like I even have a chance. Cause she has a BF. So like yeah, IDK WTF. And I feel like I overthink every encounter, but IDK how to stop. I just freeze and turn around every single time. What does that mean? Does it mean what was, like, cool that day? Is that a common expression? Am I just underdeveloped in internet phrases? Or is it like, what happened today? Like, oh man, what was it today, on the concept that everyone has at least one bad experience a day? I spent 8 hours changing the introduction text to an RPG I'm developing. This is the 6th time I've went back to edit it. I'm 40% done with the game and I still have no idea how to start the game. I am afraid I am losing control. I keep telling myself that my hard work will pay off, but in the meantime it feels like I am losing some of my best friends. I tried to be responsible and go to bed at 11 PM last night. I woke at 4 and spent the next 3 hours thinking about how I've been doing leg lifts wrong for the last couple of years, and how many other exercises I've been messing up and what I need to do to fix them. Ironically, I have now started using Reddit to kill my overthinking. This is my first day around here, and I am enjoying every moment of it. Also, I was one of the popular Indian Quora writer before I stopped writing regularly there. I like Reddit more because of the anon feature and people here are very supportive. Hope I contribute more around here and stop with the overthinking that kills me every night. Can't stop thinking about how big I fricked up breaking up with my ex. I've grown a lot since then, and I sent a handwritten letter yesterday apologizing and saying how if she gave me the chance, I'd be all in. But every second I have to remind myself to let go of hope, and her, because in all probability she has already moved on. My SO hasn't replied to my MSGS since morning, so IOFC ran every simulation from SMTHN bad may have happened to her, to how she probably hates me now. Overthinking makes no sense. But I can't bring myself to call cause I don't wanna seem clingy. The absolute frick ton of people there are in the world. All the people you'll ever meet are hardly even a fraction of the world. And every person you pass by has totally different experiences, opinions, and knows totally different people. To think that even what would be considered a small population of 100k people is nearly impossible to visualize, yet it's only 0.001% of the world's population. It's insane. This always pops in my head every few months or so. I recently became interested in the guy. We only had a couple conversations over a couple of weeks at church, but we both seemed interested and I kept forgetting to ask for his number. Anyway, he popped up on my Instagram this week, so I messaged him and now I'm worried I ruined things. Yesterday I was talking to a colleague about ambiguities of sexual origin. Psychologist here, and we talked about a lesbian girl who is a fan of YAOI, love between men in the manga anime. I'm deeply intrigued, can't sleep. Yup, that can be pretty confusing, even I end up thinking about it for hours, as I am one. Should I have put those comments on Reddit because I was bored? No one will read them. If they do, will they be taken the right way? Why did I even comment anyway? Hope someone comments on them. Hope nobody comments on them. In the hope of somebody comments on them. Semicolon. My brother-in-law's wife is very obsessed with babies in a very unhealthy way. My wife's preggo with twins. She has basically latched onto her. Mine would be how to kindly tell her to leave us the frick alone. Oh boy, you guys don't have all day for this. My boyfriend's birthday is coming up and he has a large family of men. I'm gonna be meeting his family for the first time during this birthday bash, or whatever you wanna call it. I've just been thinking what the odds would be that I had went to school with one of his family members. What stories would they remember? How would they have viewed me given I was both the awkward shy girl but the girl a lot of PPL had assumptions about going around? Also, I dislike my knees, lol. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.